Think of St. Patrick's Day, and the same images usually appear. We see leprechauns in green coats, hidden pots of gold, and the hope of finding a bit of luck. Today, we are opening the historical records for a serious fact check. We are going to separate the folklore from the documented evidence. We can start with a simple geographical fact. Patrick was not born in Ireland. He was a citizen of Roman Britain, born into a wealthy family during the 5th century. The historical account follows a teenager who was forced to survive years of isolation and captivity. At 16, Patrick was on a family vacation at the coast when pirates suddenly attacked. The raiders captured him, tied him up, and forced him onto a ship. He was taken across the sea to Ireland and sold to a local master as a slave. Patrick spent the next 6 years as a shepherd. He lived outdoors in the cold, tending sheep on these hills with no family or friends. Following a dream about a waiting ship, he eventually escaped. He walked for miles, found a boat, and successfully returned to his family's wealthy home in Britain. Once he was safe, Patrick chose to do something unexpected. He decided to return to Ireland as a missionary to work with the people who had held him captive. Patrick spent the remainder of his life teaching and living among his former captors. Many people assume that the tradition of massive, city-wide St. Patrick's Day parades began in the streets of Dublin. The records show that the giant parade is an American invention. In 1762, homesick Irish soldiers serving with the British Army in New York City organized the first recorded march to a local tavern. This tradition grew out of a desire for community and a connection to home in a new country. In the 1840s, the Great Potato Famine devastated Ireland. The crop failures led to widespread hunger and poverty across the island. Hundreds of thousands of Irish people fled the disaster, arriving as immigrants in American cities like Boston and New York. These new arrivals faced difficult conditions. They used large-scale parades to demonstrate their numbers and their pride in their heritage. Today, the holiday sees larger celebrations in the United States than in Ireland because of this massive historical migration. A quiet religious day in Ireland transformed into a global festival that defines Irish-American identity. Legend says that Patrick stood on the shore and chased every snake out of Ireland to cleanse the island. Science offers a different perspective. There were never any snakes in Ireland to begin with. Ireland is an island surrounded by water that is far too cold for snakes to cross. These freezing currents acted as a permanent barrier for cold-blooded reptiles. We also have the tradition of wearing green to become invisible to leprechauns. In the earliest historical records, the color associated with St. Patrick was actually blue. Familiar symbols and shared traditions often take the place of the original historical facts over time. Finally, we have the shamrock, which many people today view as a symbol of good luck. Patrick used the 3 leaves on a single stem as a visual aid to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity to the Irish people. Our fact check is complete. We have the story of a captive who returned to his captors, and a holiday that became a massive immigrant celebration. The historical record follows a man who returned to the very island that once took his freedom.